Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Lauren and today I want to talk about some practices that I have kind of been embracing in the past couple of months that have really helped me feel good and stay as positive as possible. I wanted to share these with you because it can apply to other artists as well as just life in general, anyone and everyone. As we go through this experience of life, we learn a lot of things, and I think some of these practices could be helpful for others who kind of also go through the roller coaster of life and all the changes that can sometimes have one feeling really out of the loop and just like hard to stay positive at times. But I have found that these things have really helped me, and today I'm going to be sharing some of those while I do some mixed media artworks of mermaids. It's the last day of May, and May is the month of mermaid. If you've ever heard of that, it's a really cool kind of thing where people, artists specifically, draw mermaids for each day of May. I haven't really taken part in it this year, but I do love mermaids, and I have in some previous years taken part. So today I wanted to quickly just, get some mermaid drawings in because they are really fun to create. And so I'm going to be showing you how I made this artwork as well as this one. And of course, sharing those tips about things that have helped me feel good and stay positive on this journey. If you like this video, if you feel like this advice helps you in any way, please do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Really appreciate everyone who's here listening to me go on about stuff, hopefully helping you in some way and inspiring you. That is always my goal with these videos, is to inspire others to pursue the things in life that make you happy and keep you motivated. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get into it. So I think it would be unrealistic to say that you always need to be happy or you always need to be positive, because the way that life works is that we encounter different situations and experiences and emotions that help us or make us or have us go through feeling a lot of different ways about things. So to say to someone you should always feel positive or always be positive is obviously pretty unrealistic. But I do think that having a positive outlook and trying to always see the brighter side of things does really make a difference to your experience in life. So these practices are what have helped me try to feel good and be in that sort of positive mind frame, so that then everything that I'm experiencing, it kind of lessens that seriousness of it and kind of just helps me get through these different experiences in a very balanced way. So the first thing is, or the first kind of practice that I have really had to remember, is that life is a journey. It's not going to be kind of one direction and things are going to go exactly how you want. It's a journey. There's different paths and routes and detours and mountains and valleys that we need to go through, and everywhere along that way we're learning something, whether those experiences are good or bad or in between. We're always picking up little tidbits and bits of information along the way that can really help us. So remembering that life is a journey filled with different things all the time has really helped me kind of remember that it's okay to feel different things on different days and go through different experiences, because they're all bringing me in some kind of direction that I'm supposed to go in. Another key thing for me has been embracing this word rejoice. Rejoice, you don't really hear this word often because it's more of like an older English term, I would say. Not many people use it, but basically it just means to celebrate. And this aspect, how I've applied this to my life is basically just celebrating small achievements, rejoicing in those small little moments, those small times when you kind of like reach a goal that you've been going towards, and remembering to like stop and celebrate it, not just like carrying on and rushing to the next thing, is really stopping and rejoicing in each moment. And kind of like it helps you sort of really relish in that happiness of those small moments, because there's so many of them along the way. And if we're just rushing ahead and racing ahead, you sort of kind of like miss out on like enjoying the happiness that each of those moments does bring. So rejoicing is another thing that has really helped me. I've also found that taking some time alone, kind of really isolating myself a little bit. I mean, isolating yourself to like in a long period of time is probably not the best thing to do, but I do think that taking yourself out of situations that are very busy and loud and chaotic, like for example, I found this living in the city, for me, had that kind of effect on me, was that there's just so many outward stimulations that I was like not really able to focus on how I was inwardly feeling. I am by nature, I think, more of an introvert than an extrovert. I do have times when I can be extroverted, but I would say that I'm probably more of an introvert. So having some time on my own, kind of like moving out here to the countryside where life does feel a bit slower, it feels a bit quieter, being able to go out into the fields and forests and just listen to like the sounds of nature and kind of like really, really quiet moments has really helped me like hear my own thoughts again and get a feel for like what my inward self is trying to like tell me, and listening to it. So kind of taking some time away from the busyness of life can really, really help you reconnect with yourself, and reconnecting with yourself can get you back in touch with those feelings of what are the things that make you truly happy in life, what positivity is already inside you that you've sort of lost touch of along the way with all the outward experiences that sort of impact on us. So yeah, just kind of taking some time really could help. Another thing is kind of really learning to trust my intuition. If you don't know what intuition is kind of what is already inside us. It's what's guiding us and every action that we take. It's kind of following your heart as opposed to what your mind is always telling you. So kind of putting your heart over your mind, like what you feel is the best move forward, or what you feel is a good situation to take part in. Kind of learning just to follow and get more in tune with your intuition. It's like the little quiet voice inside us that is guiding us throughout our lives, but sometimes our brain is like overthinking and there's a lot going on in there. The mind is always, it wants to work. Our brains just want to be like processing things all the time. So sometimes just quietening that loudness of your mind thinking and really trying to connect with what your heart is telling you, that sort of quieter voice, that feeling that's already inside you, that's guiding you to make decisions that are best for you. So that has really like helped me feel or try to get in touch with feeling good and staying positive is really learning to lean on my intuition more than what my mind is like, like saying, do this, do that, I mean, there's no voices in my head, but like basically, how you think about things. Sometimes it clouds over your intuition, and just like overthinking in general really does stop you from moving forward. It can kind of like get you into a very down sort of feeling, because you're not listening to what your body is feeling and telling you, and your heart and that intuition. So really getting in touch with intuition has been a really, really positive practice in my life. I have also found that reflecting on experiences from my past and kind of reflecting on feelings that I had and emotions attached to different experiences has really helped me be able to process them, even the ones that have been really hard to think about and stuff like that. It's really reflecting on them, kind of acknowledging that these things have happened and how I felt in those moments has really helped me in this present moment embrace letting go of those experiences after having really thought about them and reflected on them and processed them. I'm now in this present moment where I can focus on exactly how I feel right now, which is letting go of that heaviness and embracing the positivity of this moment right now, where possibilities are endless and happiness is here. So that's like one thing that's really helped, as well as reflecting. Thinking also about things in the term of context has been a practice that has helped me. By context, I mean thinking about life as a whole, about how everything in our life is related to one another, every moment and experience and feeling, and these can be like from inward and outward, and how everything, like life is really all connected. This world and our experience in life, everything is connected, and just looking at things in the context of that thought. So how one moment can lead to another, and it's kind of hard to describe this exactly, but just looking at things as a whole instead of as isolated events can also help just get a like higher, wider perspective on how you're feeling and how you're relating to life. Another thing is to think about life in terms of cycles and phases. Like this kind of relates back to life being a journey. We are always going through different cycles and phases, and there's a lot of unknowns, and that's okay. Like those are really, really, that's just how life is. And these, just remembering that it's not going to be a very straightforward road, and expecting it to be that way is not going to make it that way. Just remembering and keeping that sort of open mind that there are cycles and phases to life and to how you feel, and that's okay. Like it's okay to, you don't always have to be happy or expect that you're always going to be happy. It's okay to feel sad about things and just kind of like reflect in those moments and then let that go, and then maybe tomorrow you'll feel a different way and it might be a lot more positive than this previous feeling. So cycles and phases, that's life, and just embracing that thought kind of helps a lot. Also approaching life in terms of trying to get as much balance as possible. So through the activities that I do, just trying to find a really good balance is so helpful to feeling good and staying positive, finding balance in, like, for example, finding time to exercise and move your body, finding time to be outside, dedicating certain hours to work and kind of those more practical things that we have to do in life in order to sustain ourselves. Also making time for fun and play and relaxation, and just trying really to balance out life as much as possible. And I know this can be really, really difficult to get that good balance, and I also still am like up and down about that, but it's always my aim and goal is to like focus on creating a balance in life, a balance between work and play, between all the different things that life has for us is balance. Another thing that has really helped is focusing on completing tasks that I set out for myself. So I always have a lot of different inspirations. I'm always drawn to like about 7 or 8 different things at one time, and this can mean that my mind and I'm being pulled in all these different directions, and it's very hard to get anything done when you're inspired by everything around you. But I have found that it's really helpful to have all those inspirations, but when I put my mind to like completing a task, I really, really try to focus on that one thing, choose one of the 7 things, really focus on that and try to complete that task so that then I can focus on the next thing, and really trying to complete things in life, not running in 7 different directions at one time, but choosing one to run in, and then the next one and the next one and the next one. And then at the end of like a couple of weeks, you have all 7 of them done, but you've kind of gone through them methodically. And that's kind of helped me, is just focusing on completion. Because when you try to do all 7 of those things at once, you it's impossible. You're not going to be able to do 7 things at once. Unless you're like a superhero and you are, can divide yourself into 7 different directions, or have 7 hands, but it's impossible. So then you get really frustrated because you're like, I can't complete anything that I'm doing. So trying to stay positive and feel good really does, when you focus on that one, completing that one goal first, and then you feel happy about completing that, and it kind of like that happiness that completing that one task creates can really help you then move and bring forth that happiness and motivation to the next task, and so forth and so on. So yeah, completion has been really, really helpful tool and practice in my life. Another thing is to really embrace the essence of life, which is having time for play and dance and singing and creating, really embracing the fact that life doesn't have to always be so serious. It doesn't have to always be so heavy. I think we sometimes, I can speak for myself about this, is like dwell in some of those emotions when you feel them, and then you have to like kind of like really try to claw your way out of that heaviness, and it's really hard, and you feel like you're stuck in this hole, and you can see the blue sky up above you, but you don't know how to get there because everything is so serious and so heavy. And that's not how life is supposed to be. The essence of life is supposed to be light and carefree and joyful and happy and positive, and kind of like, sometimes you do have to construct yourself a little ladder, a ladder of good thoughts, and let go of that heaviness and get out of that hole, and look up and see that light. And I know I speak about these things very metaphorically, but I do think that life is full of those experiences, and hopefully you can understand what I mean. But making time for play and dancing and singing and just sort of shifting your energy around, and that really does help it's helped me for sure to try to feel good and stay positive and let go of that seriousness at times, because I think that naturally my natural disposition is to be smiling and laughing and happy, and it's good at times to be serious, but I definitely don't want to always sit in that energy, because being too serious and being too focused on, the heaviness of life, it sort of weighs you down. And I've just really found that, I want to smile, I want to laugh, and, just naturally that's just kind of, it's an energy that I want to be in, and making that a priority has definitely helped me. It's a practice, something you do have to work at, but it does help. It helps me feel good and stay as positive as possible. Another thing is finding your passion and embracing it. For example, for me, art and creativity are a huge passion for me. I've always loved to do art since I was a little child. It's been something that I've always loved. So just really embracing that and trying to do as much art and follow this passion as much as possible, even though sometimes it feels hard, and sometimes life makes you go in a slightly different direction, and that's okay. But I really always want to make art and creativity a priority in my life, because it does bring me a lot of happiness and enjoyment. And yeah, so I hope you're enjoying seeing me create these mermaids as I'm speaking about all this stuff, because making these mermaids really was a lot of fun. So definitely embrace your passion. What is the thing that makes you feel alive in this life? Another thing has been appreciating every little thing that I already have in my life. So not focusing so much on what I can bring into my life, but really appreciating just the very, very simple things that I already have in my life, the experiences, the connections, there's so many blessings in life to already be grateful for, and just focusing on that thought of appreciating those things already in my life has really helped me stay present in this moment. And it's really brought about positive feelings, because then when you feel grateful for the things that you already have, being grateful is a positive feeling, and it stops you from sending out all those worries into the future. The future it's there, it's gonna happen, but being here in this moment and looking around and seeing that I am okay, and I have a lot of really great things in my life already, and people and experiences, and these are things that I can be happy about right now in this moment. So that's really, really helped. Also, another thing is just kind of in connection with that is the longevity of things, is knowing that like I said, the future is out there, it's going to happen, and obviously it can be good to have long-term goals and things that are further that you're working towards in your future, but kind of just focusing on taking one small step at a time in that direction can really help you to remember to be positive about the progress that you are making, even because things can feel really slow and tedious, and you feel like you're putting in a lot of energy but getting nowhere. But that's because focusing too much on the far future and those long-term goals can sort of stop you from appreciating these small moments right now and all the steps that you are taking in a positive direction. So yeah, that's really helped as well. Another thing is just remembering to nurture, leave space for nurturing yourself, for kind of like continuously working on cultivating feelings of goodness and positivity in your life through the actions and experiences and things that you do. It's just always like nurturing that and keeping that a priority in life, the act of nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, looking after yourself, knowing when you need to do one thing as opposed to another thing. It's really, really good to take care of yourself, put yourself first sometimes as opposed to putting everybody else first, because if we don't care for ourselves, then it's really hard to care for other people and to give ourselves to others if we are not a complete person, or if we're not feeling complete. So always make time for nurturing and taking care of yourself. There's so many more practices that I would like to talk about. I have actually many, many more written down, but I'm sort of running out of time now. So I do want to end off with one that I feel is very, very important, and kind of like one of the main reasons that I started this YouTube channel and that I make the videos that I make is this idea of connection and shared experience. It has been really, really, really helpful to, know that I'm not alone in going through the things that I go through, that there are other people out there that kind of feel the same way and that are having the same experiences. Being able to connect on those points has really helped, remember that, we're never alone in our experiences. There are always other people out there experiencing the same things, and sharing those experiences can really help you also not feel so alone in whatever it is that you're going through, or the feelings that you are having. So yeah, that is all of the things that I wanted to talk about today. So friends, that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope that you enjoyed watching me create these mixed media artworks of mermaids, and also that some of the things I talked about are helpful to you in some way. Look forward to sharing more with you soon. Please do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon for another video.